you talked about obviously Funaki and then Rikishi. I mean, both
Mm.
WWE legends in their own right, but very, very different competitors.
Oh
Um,
yeah, definitely. Uh,
what did you learn from Funaki, and then what did you learn from Rikishi, and how did those two different styles help you to become the wrestler you were becoming before this disease or
right.
disease illness? What's the right term for
You
CRPS?
can use either
Yeah.
or. I'm very impolitically correct with myself, so you don't offend me in any way. But you can call it a sickness, illness, condition, uh, crippled dumb bitch. Like I don't care. You know what I mean?
I go down that road. But yeah, so Funaki and Rikishi, very different people. But what did you learn from the from two of them?
Right. So Funaki, so after leaving, getting blessed in, and this is like such a I'm such a nerd, and I always compare my story to like Lord of the Rings, like the mission, and Bobby, sent me off on my quest, and I'm like, I'll make you proud, and then there we are off on my quest with and then of course I have my best friend Nathaniel with me throughout this whole journey. He was there throughout it all, and he really has saved me as well, so shout out to him. But when Bobby sent us out on our quest and I landed in San Antonio, right now Funaki is with the hybrid school, but at the time in 2015 and 16, he had his own setup, his own ring, and it was at like a Spartan gym. And once again, movie moment. Here I am, this theater nerd, this loser that's just like don't know where I'm at, and I'm in this hot desert. It's summertime, or no, it's fall time, and it's still freaking hot as heck out in San Antonio. But they have it set up to where it's like an open Spartan gym with a wrestling ring and a garage door. And so it was just like the hot heat coming through that makes you want to throw up. And then there is Funaki standing in like a performance center t-shirt or an NXT t-shirt, and it's 2015, and it's like, holy, this is a big deal. And even today that's a big deal because he would be back and forth from the before. If he wasn't with us, he was down in WWE working. And it's just like, so the way that he approached it was, of course, Japanese style is very stiff and very assertive. So I always say that he's responsible for my stiff lockup, like crisp, like nice, like I'll never forget, like always like, because I've never, besides with a little bit of Bobby, I've never locked up before. So here I am like bopping everyone's ears, and they're like, no, it's sharp, it's good. Like, it's fucking like get in there, and I'm just like, all right. And like all the students were really welcoming and really good to me. And I have footage of me rolling around there and getting instructed by him. But it was really hot and very very surreal being so young and then being thrusted to be trained under him. And I liked it. He was very professional. I loved every second of it. And then it just so happens that consistent throughout the year, that following WrestleMania was in Dallas, and all of us kids in San Antonio drove up and to work the different indie shows, around WrestleMania, like as one would do. And it just so happens Nathaniel and I were on a show that Rikishi was running, and that was kind of like a makeshift audition for us. And that's when I actually met Rikishi. He was sitting, the whole setup was, you have the WrestleMania dome right there in Dallas with all the posters, and there's the parking lot and the strip of drive, and then this little shed of a building that you could probably have like proms or parties there or whatever. But there was a wrestling show right there, and that was Rikishi's show. And so sitting outside looking up at the banners was this big Samoan, and I'm like, never met him before, and I'm 5'2", so when I approached him, I was just like, oh man, I'm little. But then he was a sweetheart. But I always like training under him. I know he likes the business side, and he really educated us a lot on character. But I remember him pulling me to the side and teaching me how to attack the mat. So I know it's so cliche, but Funaki's the lockup and Rikishi's the bump. And Samoan bump drills suck. but Rikishi pulled me aside and really taught me how to attack the mat, and I will always carry that with me.
Well, I mean, of course, Rikishi's kind of fingerprints are now all over the WWE product, aren't they? I mean, it's a patriarch of, half the bloodline with Jimmy and Jay and Solo Sikoa. There's no getting away from Rikishi's influence in wrestling today. But I think really overlooked actually what an incredible career he had himself. And what a tenure and so many different characters and, a really versatile performer in his own right.
that
And obviously well
that was
deserving of
the
the Hall of
main thing
Fame.
out there, was promo, was character. He threw different character ideas at me when I was out there, and one of the things that I threw back at him was the Chainsaw Queen, and he's like, okay.
Yeah,
And that
so
was 2016. That was technically 2016. So I became the first Chainsaw Queen of professional wrestling, and it was awesome.